Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. If you've ever wondered what is AI CERTs, let me give you a quick introduction. AI CERTs offers role-based AI and blockchain certifications aimed to fostering lifelong learning. Our mission is to help organizations build smarter, future-ready workforces, adapt to change, and drive growth. And here's a big vision. We have a vision of certifying almost a million people worldwide. Let's take a moment to watch a brief video and discover more about AI certs. Just give me a second.
The only constant is change. Staying ahead means constantly adapting, evolving, and growing. You need the right skills to thrive. Artificial intelligence and blockchain are revolutionizing everything we do, from how we work, create, and solve problems, to how we secure data and build trust in a digital world. Do you have the skills to thrive in this new era of AI? To stay ahead, you need the right tools and knowledge. But with so much information available, where do you start? AI CERTs empowers you to equip yourself for the future with industry-recognized, role-based certifications in AI and blockchain. Whether you're an individual looking to upskill and advance your career, or a business seeking to empower your workforce with cutting-edge AI and blockchain expertise, AI CERTs is your trusted partner. Our certifications are crafted by a team of leading industry experts, ensuring they align with the latest trends and real-world demands. We understand that everyone learns differently. Our flexible learning options allow you to study whenever and wherever it works best for you. With a tech background or without one, our comprehensive range of role-based certifications equip you with the in-demand skills you need to succeed. Stand out in the job market with recognized AI and blockchain credentials. Leverage the new technology to become more efficient, innovative, and impactful. Help your company thrive in the AI era. AI CERTs, empowering individuals and businesses to lead the AI revolution.
So thank you all for joining us as we dive into today's topic, generative AI in marketing. We're thrilled to have you all here as we explore how cutting-edge AI technologies are revolutionizing the way we strategize and connect in the digital era. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Rohini, your host for today's session, and I'll be guiding you through what promises to be an insightful and engaging discussion. We've got a fantastic lined up ahead, including a keynote presentation and plenty of time for your questions. I do request everybody to make use of the Q&A option that you have on your screen throughout the session, and we will address all your questions at the end of the webinar. Today's focus is on how generative AI is transforming marketing, from elevating customer engagement to personalizing experiences and streamlining content creation. Whether you're a seasoned marketer, a business leader, or just curious about AI, there's something here for everyone. So let's get started. Now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for the evening, Oscar Farrera. With over 15 years of experience in sales, marketing, and technology partnerships, Oscar is a seasoned professional who has trained and coached countless individuals and teams. He's certified AI trainer from the AI CERTs Academy, combining deep technical expertise with a unique talent for clear and impactful communication. Oscar's passion for knowledge sharing and his disciplined approach for leveraging AI makes him a true thought leader in marketing innovation. We're so lucky to have him here today to share his insights on how generative AI can empower us all. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Oscar. Oscar, please, over to you. Thank you so much for being here today.
So thank you so much, Rohini, for this opportunity. As you said before, I'm here to present generative AI in marketing. This presentation, this webinar that I prepared for you is going to be talking about just a bit of the larger scope of marketing AI in marketing, which is taking a lot of space right now. So first of all, what I'm going to be doing is present myself, a little bit more of the intro that Rohini was able to do before. I'm a professional, experienced sales, marketing, and technology enabler. In this case, I've been more than 15 years working in technology companies in various industries, doing business presentations, technical, and as well educational training in different areas. And one of the things that I have been doing also lately is been earning my certifications. The latest one that I got is from the AI CERTs Academy in Artificial Intelligence. But before that, I recently earned my professional coaching certification from ACT International Academy. That being said, after that, I got an AI coach diploma from a business coaching institute. So my domain is pretty much technology and the training side of it, enabling people, enabling professionals also to gain this knowledge in order for them to make them better in terms of what is it that they're doing. So I'm going to skip that intro, and we're going to get into the right of the content of this presentation. So as we talked before, this is a transformative times for marketing and many domains in the industry, with the power of AI that is bringing up to the landscape. And what I'm talking about now, I actually divided this presentation in three parts, which are going to be the ones that we're going to be talking about today. As I said, this is a very small portion of how is impacting AI in marketing. I'm going to start with the one that is content creation, because it's, I think, the one that is bringing out more, has been more impactful in terms of what is it that we have seen in the media, in the social media, with the companies that are being spreading this technology and the awareness that the audience is taking on content creation. In terms of that, generative AI has revolutionized, and it's not a small world, but it has changed a lot the content creation part of it, of marketing. Why? Because it has been generating high quality, super personalized text, images, and videos. Why? Because it has been with higher efficiency. It has streamlined the workflows as well that we're talking about here, and allowing brands, and companies to produce very tailored materials at scale. That being said, well, that's one of the pieces that we're gonna be talking about that. The second part, we chose to speak about campaign optimization with real data insights. And what I mean with that is just, it's really simple, because you're just gonna take the real-time information you're getting from the input, being transformed by the model, and then actually get a feedback, an output where you can actually react in real time. So you will adapt very fast in terms of driving more conversations. Conversation rates get higher, and also the ROI at the end, that's what we're looking for, the return of investment, ensuring that every marketing dollar is well spent, and it's very efficient in the way we spent it, aligned with your goals, with the company goals and the current market trends. And the third part we have here is the balancing automation in marketing workflows. And that is something that that is super important to understand in terms of how is it that we can actually automate repetitive tasks, ordinary tasks, very, let's say, entry-level tasks. This task on the marketing side of it, freeing, the new hires, the juniors, for example, to focus on more creative stuff, more creative strategies and storytelling. I think that's the best part of it. It's a storytelling, how you can use the technology in order to enhance that level of talking to your audience. And it complements also that with the human input by offering, what is it? Insights. We're talking about templates already done and ideas, while you're retaining the uniqueness of the human creativity. So that being said, those are the three parts we're going to be talking today. The next one is just an example of what is it that we're talking about. We're talking about AI, but what is it really? It really started with the technology called transformers, and transformers are generative models of text. They all are born like that, and it's been like 2 years from now that technology went out and made splashes in the industry with a company called OpenAI. And this transformer called ChatGPT, which one of them, there's many more, what actually does is really, what it does is just predict the next word. It's a next word predictor. Within, using a text prompt from a user, what it's going to give you out of that text prompt as an answer is the most probable next word that it will follow. That's just the main issue about the main subject about it is that transformers have been transforming the industry in many ways, and that's very important because it's the baseline of content generation. We're talking about now of text models which are text creation, and then we have the multi-models, which are the ones are going to be creating not only text but video, audio, and some other content that we'll see further the line. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but to get into the real thing about this today, this webinar, which is the role that AI is playing within the content creation space. And as I said that before, it's the automation of content creation is the most important thing because it will give us what is it that we're looking for is scalability. And scalability is actually is to produce large volumes of content, which in order to stay competitive, the automation enables rapid content creation without compromising this quality that we're talking about now. Then it's efficiency. Efficiency is one of the things that we need to consider in terms of when we automate very repetitive tasks. And the tasks that I'm talking about always low complexity tasks. So resources can be allocated to more strategic areas, into more creative areas, and reducing the costs and improving this productivity we're looking for by using the technology. And that's so in terms of that part, it's okay, but then we have to enhance our game. We have to raise the bar of what is it that we are using this creativity for. And the idea with this is that we need to use it for more personalization. Personalization is, the public, the audiences are expecting more tailored experiences for them, right? And AI enables super hyper personalized content that resonates with their specific preferences based out of what their specific behaviors that they may have, improving enhancement and loyalty. That being said, it comes with innovation, and innovation is kind of a thing that you really want to get your mark on, because AI tools will support this creative ideation, by generating diverse concepts into styles, into uh, experimenting. I'll call it like explore and exploit, where you're gonna be actually exploring ideas, exploring many ways of getting things done, imaginative ways of doing things, and then exploiting that where you're going to be automating that piece of information, piece of content, where you're going to be improving engagement and loyalty. That's what where I see this role of AI on content creation. So now we have the automation part of it, where content creation just becomes, the resource, the material, and then we need to put that content in movement. So how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of pre-trained models out there, many of them already there. I think that the part of explore and exploit, the explore part of it is to be aware that you have to test probably 2 or 3 of them at least to make sure that that model is going to bring you the value you're expecting, because every model, even though it has the same structure of how the transformer works, they have different data sets, and those data sets give you different outputs using even the same prompt query. So when you are testing on the testing phase, you got to make sure that that model that you're using for your content creation activity is the one that is going to give you what you're expecting to have. Just to mention, OpenAI ChatGPT is one of them. You have at that level Llama, Llama 3 from Meta, and you have many more like Gemini from Google, and you have Perplexity. So you have many of those to choose and pick from. So what else can we use it, AI in order to help us on the content creation side? Creating templates. So predefining these templates, in recurring tasks will help you and give you, a bump in efficiency by doing what exactly? For example, product descriptions of your products, services, media posts where you can actually reuse that content in order to be expedited to the user, or even create some blogs and articles. That's super important to consider in terms of automation. As I said before, the personalization of that integration is one of the things that you really want to nail on, because it's going to allow you to really target your audience in the best way possible by knowing your audience better, by resonating the message with them, and that dynamically doing it in real-time feeds of what's happening out there with your audience, so you can react on the fly, on the go. There's some other AI assisted design tools where you can actually be creative. You can use Canva, you can use Adobe Firefly in order to create these image generation, video animations, in order to create a more richer experience for the user and for the customer itself. And as I said before, if you're a global company, or you're in a more than one country actually, with different audiences that speak different languages, this is very nice, because you can actually automate the translation into different audiences, but also capturing the essence of that culture, with the nuances that it may have, so you can actually do that in a more efficient way. At the end, the last but not least is, as I said before, integrate that content into an automation machine. Put it right into the center of the CMS. This is a content management system creation. So it will actually, you will use it end to end, meaning that from A to Z, this automation takes place, but always with a human in the loop. I said before, this is just one of the pre-trained models content creation by What's on AI, which really it's doing is actually taking care of the possibility of automating a marketing piece of information in order to deliver that into what is going to be your audience. And as I said before, this is something that it has to happen in the simplest, easiest way. Where you generate an email campaign, what you're doing is actually just using what is already in the template that you pre-created in the model, and it's going to be using those in terms of the audience that you're going to be sending that out, by decoding, by actually understanding what's going to be, the fluidity, the temperature, or what is the tone that you want to use in order to, to cater to that audience in the better way possible. And then, so when we're talking about the fact of the automation of tasks, you have to make it at scale to make sure that the whole process is automated. You get used to, your database is actually your customer list, and what is that you're going to say. So your database, it's creating the content that your customer is going to be seeing, and actually they're going to be using in their experience of consuming this product or service. So by automating this workflow will actually help you out to really send a message in a very efficient way possible. That being said, we're going to just jump into what it's going to be. the creativity and engagement levels. That is a very interesting part of the webinar where I'm actually talking about the personalization of experiences, because this is very, very, very the tools that we have right now on AI are super well developed right now in order to craft very you can become very intentional in the message that you want to take on and carry on to your user base. Okay, so and there's a lot of tools to do that, create engagement, but actually the way to do it is very catering to the very to your base of the cost of your customers, in order to make sure that it's really resonating and is having an impact in the reaction of the user base, to make sure that you are transferring the right message at the right audience. When I say innovation and ideation, for example, Lego, the company, the block company, it's employing AI to generate creative product designs and product descriptions. They're creating a lot of marketing materials with that and maintaining very playful, and engaging brand voice. And what else to use but OpenAI GPT models to integrate into the content creation workflow, for example, for ideation and textual creativity. One of the things that we can actually use it for is to improve the content relevance. Improving relevance on the content is actually, for example, what is doing Coca-Cola, using AI to create hyper relevant and very cultural specific advertisement, like personal experiences, digital personal experiences in global campaigns. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm talking about when you're using that in a regional or global basis, in order to splash the message in a very efficient way with very low touch content creation, but catering to each one of the different audiences on the different countries that you serve. One of the things that is using Coca-Cola, for example, is to personalize these digital experiences. One of the AI tools out there is Adobe Sensei for analyzing consumer behavior, and by doing that, it's generating creative assets for you that resonate to localized markets. I wouldn't be talking about this if we were not talking about how is that impacting your job. Your job as a marketing expert, marketer, chief of marketing, CMO, whatever, it's impacting real time this technology to the roles, the way we do business, these products. And I will say, and I will add here that this technology, we have seen it to be impacted in every single part of the business right now. So whether the technology becomes a product, it becomes a feature, or sometimes it just becomes a whole company. So how we're going to be integrating this technology, it really depends on us and the company, what it does, and how it becomes, how we become to be, the next company, which is, leveraging this technology in order to reach the goals that the company has in terms of that. So the role itself of that we're talking about here, how it's being impacted, is, yes, of course, it's going to be enhancing productivity. It's going to create more quality output of what is it that we're using the technology for. But we need to be trained for that. We need to, we have to raise the bar in our skill levels. So how do we do that? Well, we have to explore alternatives. We have to explore what training courses or any other sort of information, read more, watch more, in terms of what is that you can use into your content creation activities, marketing activities, but also in the workflow, which is very important. Once you get the content, you have to exploit it properly in order to have a very efficient and very productive way of reaching the market with that information. Some of the things that I want to mention here is there's a lot of benefits here. both in the high and low performance level, let's put it this way, where if you're a senior marketer, how much value you're going to get out of it. You have to really, explore and exploit which kind of technology is the one that is going to be adding value to your process, to your workflow, to your outputs. We have seen, for example, in terms of the low value activities, for example, that it could give you a lot of value because it's going to automate a lot of repetitive tasks. But we got to be careful of balancing that out. Okay, as I said before, there are some limitations, in the model's frontier. And what I'm talking about that is for tasks that are outside of this AI capability. The use of AI will lead you to a decrease of performance because it's not really trained for that type of capability. So there's going to be gaps. Those gaps will create what? Hallucinations. Hallucinations is errors in the output, on the expected outcome from the query. And that's because it's out of the frontier line of the model. Okay. So sometimes you will have overfitting, where it's not going to give you, in a different scenario, it's not going to give you the output expected. And underfitting is too generic to capture the output that we want to give it. So in terms of that, let's make sure that the impact that it is going to have, it's really on the right task to be completed and on time. So one of the things that we have to be careful also is that overusing this technology, it could come equalization of ideas. What I mean with that is it's going to start off getting the same kind of results. It doesn't really even matter if you're using different models, because as much as you change the query, it may come up to the standardizing answers in the content, and the quality content in the generated output of the content. So we got to be careful to overusing this, and so it will dry this message to the customers. But in order to do that and avoid these kind of issues, you need to raise your game by getting more training. As I said before, we have to play around this technology. We have to really up our game by getting the benefits and avoiding the degradation of performance if we understand how to use these technologies. If we focus, for example, on understanding which specific tasks could it take, AI could take on the workflow side of it, on the generation of content, we can benefit of AI and develop strategies that will make sense for effective human and AI collaboration. So that being said, is that the potential for transformational enhancement and productivity using AI is whether we use it, understanding and navigating which are the limitations of AI capabilities. The next part, as I said before, is the last part, but I think it's important to understand how we're using, for example, the terms of the dynamic personalization. As I said before, analyzing real-time user to create highly personalized content is one of them. The case that I'm going to bring up on that one is Active Campaign, for example, is one of our companies which analyze customer preferences and in real time and personalize the messaging and promotions for popular traits or popular increase in repeated sales. The next one, adaptive decision making. As we continue processing real-time data from customers, we can optimize the campaign by switching and tweaking some parameters in order to get a better targeting, timing, and budget allocation of the marketing dollars spent on that, and adapting the strategies on the fly. And the third one that I want to mention and how do we use it for is predictions for future customer behavior, and that is not only the behavior of the customer but the market trends. We have to be careful of how do we analyze real-time data combined with historical patterns that it gives us. So, for example, there's a company called Pecan AI, which uses let's say, put it this way, a boutique store of clothing. It could analyze seasonal purchasing of trends, predicting demand, and it could launch different campaigns or sale campaigns for upcoming collections. So by using it carefully, we can actually predict what's going to be the next biggest sale. How do we, put together a campaign for that, and analyze how is it reacting the market out of that, and obviously we can tweak and tweak the parameters to get a better spend of our dollars in marketing. And all in all that I have speaking about, it's super important to have a balance. And this balance has to be super important because, as I said before, we have to make sure that we retain authenticity. The emotional resonance that we have in terms of impacting our user base. And why not? New users, new consumers, and have a really good creation vision of what is it that we're doing. One of the things that I will mention also is that working, forward, not only backwards, but forward on the workflow generation strategy we have to streamline, this automation, but specifically in the mundane tasks, like the ordinary tasks, like content generation, some data analysis, and scaling, reducing bottlenecks in the workflow, and increasing the productivity that we're aiming for. That being said, we're going to just jump to the next one, which is an example, for example, of AI-powered holiday ads, in which we could see that Coca-Cola used AI tools to, like, for example, Stable Diffusion, in order to create 110 customized ad variations into different markets, 20 plus markets in some few days. This is awesome. This is actually interesting to see how a company like Coca-Cola have been using this customized ChatGPT in order to really create these ads or this variation of ads in such a short time. Amazon also uses AI-powered recommendations to personalize advertising. Like everybody knows, it's when you get into the Amazon website, it suggests the holiday gifts in order, based out of your browsing history, based out of your historical purchases. Okay, so what it gives is it drives relevant items to the shopping cart, relevant items into your eyes, into the user's experience of using the interface in order for more customer engagement. In terms of dynamic visual effects, if I continue with Coca-Cola, it really enhances using AI tools by blending traditional storytelling with advanced AI generated visuals for a type of a nostalgic, visual modern appeal into the ad. So again, it's using storytelling, it's using video generation to capture the essence of how do you want to adapt that story into each one of the markets that you're aiming for. And then the last one is that I'm going to be talking here in this specific slide is the customer experience has to be you got to employ the best possible channel in order to help your customers. Like, for example, employing chatbots, employing voice assistants, in real-time customer support, that will enhance a lot of that customer satisfaction. And obviously, it's not at least to say that industry benchmarks, for example, is what is driving this advancement in AI-driven e-commerce marketing. It's super important to not standardize the personalization, but actually using it creatively in order to have more customer-centric approach for seasons like this one, which is a big holiday period what we're talking about today. And one of the important aspects of using this technology is how do we use it responsibly? And what I say that is that we have to be proactive in being responsible of the use of AI generated content. Disclosure. This is one of the things that we have to do, is just to be mindful that what we're creating, there's going to be audiences which are looking very, very, uh, they're following up on this type of technology, how it's evolving. So we have to voluntarily disclose when content of AI is being generated. Okay, so just an example, Amazon highlights the use of AI, for example, recommendations of the virtual assistant, and that is something that you have to be open with your customers in order to be truthful. The other thing is the platform policies. For example, Twitter, Instagram, they kind of like let you know, right, that you're generating AI images or videos right off the spot. And YouTube actually requires content creators to disclose AI use, in certain contexts, which are, contexts where really matters whether you seeing is real or not. For example, when there's a monetization issue, transactional issue, or content moderation. In the marketplace, for example, we could see Adobe Stock, Etsy, companies that are labeling AI-generated artwork, which is the responsible way of doing it. And in the developments on the market, we can see that the EU, the European Union Artificial Intelligence Act, is proposed to have a clear disclosure of AI-generated content for particular contexts, such as, for example, chatbots, which has interaction with users, synthetic media, and ensure users are not misled. The other part in the US, for example, is the Federal Trade Commission, which is issued guidelines to emphasize that AI-generated content should be transparently labeled. So it has to be labeled, because if not, again, customers will be misled. And the global trend is that, label your AI content just to be sure that customers feel you're speaking, in truthfulness with them, that they are really getting what they see, what you get from you, and also given the opportunity to be generous with you with your comments, because everybody's watching what all the companies are using the technology, and you want to be on the right side of things where you're using it properly and responsibly. As I said before, just be aware there's capabilities. We talk about it. We went through that a lot. Efficiency gains, scalability, multilingual. It could adapt across many domains, as I said before, automation, efficiency. But there's some limitations, as I said before. If we don't, cater properly, or we don't get trained enough how to use this technology, these models, there could be an error propagation exploding all over the place across all the workflows that we do. Still, AI still consider a black box, because we don't know how actually it's getting, the outputs it's getting sometimes. So there's challenges there for knowing how exactly these models are getting to what they're getting on the output level. And do not depend too much on that. Prompt quality is super important. You have to really make sure that you understand how to, construct and build a prompt. So I recommend prompt engineering for that case. And the complexity of use cases. We have to be mindful of what cases can we use for AI. Cases where it's more difficult to really get a sense of a very constant output, like human behavior is one of those different use cases to use it for. Right now, still not ready, but anything else that helps you out to repeat tasks, to save you time, more efficient, and give you that time. You save that time in order to use it properly in some other areas of your company. Be mindful of that. And last is the ethical and legal concerns, which I said before. It was the last slide that we were talking about that. where we actually are generating content that can lead to legal disputes or customer dissatisfaction if we don't use it properly. So we have to highlight case by case where incorrect chatbots or policies are leading into penalties or into inappropriate uses of customer information, privacy, or even some other issues that it may lead you into a legal dispute. So be careful and mindful on that. That is just to be said that all in all, we have to continuously train ourselves, being the expectation that the technology has always evolving and changing, and you have to do the same. So get the skills, learn what you need to do in order to get to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Adopt IL mindset. What I'm trying to say with that is that you have to position yourself right where it's the brains are needed. Okay, your brains are needed, your skills are needed, and swiftly but surely you are working with a technology landscape, helping your company, helping your department, helping yourself to be better and get better. And the last thing is to invest. You have to invest, trying, 2, 3 different models, same query, see what's the output, explore, and then exploit it properly by connecting this content in the right appropriate places in the workflow in order to be more efficient, to change dynamically the information so you can react on the fly for customer behaviors and you actually get a better ROI of your marketing dollars. And the last part, it's just be, considering the 3 parts we were talking about: content creation, real-time campaign optimization, and the balance that we have to have between the human-machine level. I just have, the last words to say is that, generative AI is not just as a tool, but it's a driving force to transform marketing by using the art of a personalized precision and limitless creativity.
Absolutely. I think well said on that, Oscar. There we come to an end of this session, and I would like to definitely take this moment once again to thank you, Oscar, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise. And thank you, everyone who joined us today. And we hope you found the session as enlightening as we did. If you would like to revisit the session or learn more, stay tuned for our email and additional resources that would be sent across to your email address. Until next time, stay curious, stay innovative, and keep exploring the incredible possibilities of AI in marketing. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Oscar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.